Welcome. My name is Mustafa. I am the Director of AI Integration and Assistant Professor of Management at Ilan University. I'm very excited to have you here today. We have some new faces. We have some seasoned AI Research Network participant among us. So let me explain. For the seasoned one, it's going to be a little boring, but let me explain what is the purpose of this AI Research Network and research series. So we have a great number of researchers in our institution. They are doing amazing AI research. And we want to highlight these collaborative interdisciplinary research to foster the dialogue, further show the amazing work those scholars and researchers and our faculty members has been doing. And we have several different goals. With that, we are hoping to develop an interdisciplinary research network at Ilan related to AI and whatever discipline you are in. It doesn't mean that you have to do all the AI research, but maybe you have an idea and you can connect with other AI researchers and explore these dimensionalities and opportunities. And we also want to create an opportunity for funding for the future research. What does it mean? Indeed, last week, executive order just came again. Maybe you heard there is another executive order, a lot of executive order in 100 days. The last executive order was K-12 level and AI literacy. Executive order almost mandate every state to consider AI literacy at the K-12 level and ask people to funding and granting for these initiatives. That means federal government and the government just put a lot of efforts to AI and AI initiatives. Indeed, there is a pilot program providing some resources for people to apply for. And also there is another research and grant opportunities such as humanities research for artificial intelligence. Indeed, NSF also provided more than $20 billion grant for different institutions. One of my highlights, you may heard if you are a seasoned AI Research Network participant, we have an AI institutions next to us, NC State, and their name is Engage, AI Institution for Engaged Learning. And I ask, who is known for engaged learning? Am I right? Ilan University. So that is a question. Why not we are applying for large amount of grant and explore these opportunities? Last time, that initiative received $15 million, and average grant for these NSF grants almost $5 to $8 million. That is possible to pursue such grant and create a resource for our institution. And in that regard, what do? We just organized several events. One of them is an AI Research Network. And also, I want to highlight a few events just concluded and about to come. The first AI Pedagogy Challenge. We just concluded that last Monday, finalized. I've been talking about that, and we received more than 70 AI pedagogy applications from faculty members. They just say, I have an idea with an AI and doing amazing stuff. Right now, we have judges. We have independent judge blind to applicants, and they are grading these applications. We are going to organize a show and tell event. I want to highlight here on the left side, show and tell event, May 9th. If you haven't received my emails today, please check announcement. And in that event, AI Pedagogy Challenge winners and participant, community members, faculty, staff, going to have a round table and talk about what they do with an AI. And also we are going to provide some resources available to all. It's going to be a very lively discussion. And also, more importantly, May 2nd, this coming up Monday, we are holding an talk with AI grant. That was the main goal of these activities, and right now we are starting our talk. If you can, please join us. I send an email to group, and May 2nd, it's, if I'm not wrong, 12:30 p.m. You can check my emails, yes. May 5th, I'm sorry. May 2nd is Friday. You're right, I'm sorry. May 5th, Monday. I'm sorry, not 2nd. Enough. With that, I want to introduce our guest today. Dr. Byung Lee is an associate professor communication design in Elon University's Communication School. Earned his PhD in journalism from University of Missouri. His research advances Q methodology. How many of you heard that methodology? It's really useful for holistic judgment and assessment, media analytics, digital news, including development open source Q sorting analysis and software. In his classroom, he's pioneered AI applications and assigned students to iteratively refine and critically think about ChatGPT and increase AI literacy. Today, he's going to talk about both research and practice in classroom related to generative AI. Please join me welcoming Dr. Byung Lee.
Okay, thanks for the introduction. And then thanks for coming, even though it's a very busy time for you in the semester. And my name is Byung Lee, and I'm going to talk about AI in the classroom, insight from practice and research. So today I'm going to cover a few things, what AI means to me. I think that the definition of AI has changed over time. I understood AI like this one, and the next month it changed. Now I'm going to share how I understand it at this point. And then my understanding has changed as I use AI in many different areas. First, I use it in my personal life. I like woodworking, so I use the AI to gather information. Also, I use the AI for my research, but today I'm going to talk about how I use the AI in coding. And then third, I'm going to talk about AI, how I use it in the classroom. This semester, I'm teaching Core 1100. That's the freshman targeting students, that class. And we use the AI for writing a research paper. So I have 17 students in class. They were divided into 6 groups. They all presented yesterday. So it was hard because they had to get IRB approval and then collect the data. So they did the literature review and collect the data, analyze it, and writing a paper. Also, a few days ago, that I collected data using the Q methodology. How many of you are familiar with the Q methodology? Okay, just one. Okay. So it's a very holistic approach, and then always it produced something meaningful results. So I like it a lot. I went to the 4 classes and then asked 51 students to sort that statements, and then I spent the time over maybe a week or so to analyze the data set. So, okay, so first, what the AI is. So I'll take an analogy. So it's very hard to use the words. Sometimes, like Buddha pointing his fingers to the moon, and then he's trying to describe what the truth is. But always the words are limited, so he tried to use some words, but many people could not understand what his words is pointing to, right? So I thought about that, the ChatGPT or AI, how it can be compared with that Buddha's finger point. Okay, so actually the AI is much worse. And then at least what Buddha said is describing truth. But what the AI is describing is more abstract. Also, does not tell the truth. It is kind of point to the possibilities based on training data. Okay, so this is a very important one. Just possibilities. Okay, so based on the training data. So it's as good as some data it was trained on. So I'll give a first example. why I'm using this one instead of using the writing those things, because when writing is very abstract. So while thinking about AI in writing, it'll be very hard to know how the AI is affecting it, right? So we are using the more concrete example. So if you look at this one, that I built the deck in the backyard, and I built a shed, and then I also fixed the electrical lines. When I went to the attic, I found out the electrical lines gnawed by maybe a rat or squirrel. So I tried to call the serviceman, but you know, this is a small job. It will require maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks. They'll charge you $200 or $300, right? So I decided to fix it. So I consulted with ChatGPT and then tried to find the information. Instantly, it gave plenty of information, 2 or 3 pages. Do you think it'll work to solve your problems? It is not, right? So it just gives some kind of some hints. So based on that, you need to figure it out on your own. So yeah, I got a lot of information about the deck or shed, what he's saying. But actually, when I built them, I need to figure out so many different things. So there is a big gap. What the AI described with what I experienced, I have a lot of gap. Another thing, while coming to this room, I thought about maybe I can show that this CNC the board. I think you are familiar with this CNC, right? Yeah. This is the computer-generated one, and then it'll, if you put some code, it'll carve it, and it'll inscribe the letters, it'll cut the wood. So I'm very familiar with the traditional way of doing it, how to use a saw or all those things. So if you use this one, many like expertise or many skills I learned traditionally will be obsolete, right? Some of the skills or expertise may be transferred to this new digital technology, but many of them will be obsolete. Same thing, we can make some comparison. Our teaching skills, and then when we are introducing AI, many of our expertise will be obsolete. Like I went to the University of Missouri, the journalism school, many years ago. At the time, we were tested, and each class time about the AP style. I almost memorized all the entries there, and then today we are tested from A to E, and next day the F to H, something like that. So I memorized that how you abbreviate 50 states, like the postal code, and then the AP style, and what kind of government agencies should be abbreviated or not. All those knowledge will be obsolete now, right? And the same thing, when I came to Ilan, I worked as editor for the Ilan Journal. At the time, while the editor editing the student papers, I had to memorize the last of AP styles, right? But now, all those things would be obsolete, right? There are some of the things that are still useful, but many of those things we cannot use it anymore. So while we are introducing the AI technology, we have to think about what kind of teaching skills we have mastered, we have to give up, and what kind of skills can be transferred to the new AI era. Okay. Another one that I used this AI to coding. So, for example, when you are doing the Q study, you are showing that some statement, questions in a card, rather than asking people to answer each question at a time. When you are taking survey, you are answering one question independent of other questions. And you'll be asked, don't think about other questions. Just focus on that questions and answer that questions independent of other questions. So they are traditional, the research method taking an atomistic approach. One has nothing to do with another one. But the Q is taking a more holistic approach. We think that some issues are related in real life. So we like the survey recipient to think that all the questions at the same time and then make a decision. So they have to answer after reading the statement while the thinking of the other statements. So it's very hard to do that, right? So Q researchers create a method. So they are giving that this kind of cards, like sometimes 40 or 50, asking them to divide this statement into 3 boxes. So I can show you here. So it'll be interesting here. So I'll just see. So. In the past, that we used that paper sorting thing, but nowadays we want to do study across the country, internationally, and then sometimes it's much easier to collect the data set. So we put those things on the web. So I like it, and then sometimes I did this study with another person in Korea. So this is about Koreans actually tour the coffee shops. Like there are so many coffee shops in the Korea. If you go to one block, there are 3 or 4 coffee shops. So we just want to know why, right? So Koreans, they know a little bit English, but it'll be better to show the English and the Korean at the same time, so we do not have to worry about the validity of a statement, right? So I just created. So if you click it, do you see here? Changing the English into Korean, and then same thing here. So coming over here, so they are looking at this one, so they want to know that what is the English version. They click it, right? So on the web you can do it, this kind of thing, right? So they are basically sorting it like here, agree and disagree or neutral. So the good thing is that, do you see here? When you are sorting it, you can see that the number of the cards remain is diminishing, right? So here. So after it is going to 0, then if you click it, the next time only you can get the statement, the card you agreed. And those statements will be divided into agree statement divided into most strongly agree, then next agree, and then after that the disagreed statement divided into 3, and neutral statement, and then it is totally neutral or a little tend to agree or disagree. At the end, that they are then making some kind of comments about the statement they most agreed, like 3 statements, and then also they make a comment on the 3 statements they most disagreed. So by getting some kind of open-ended questions that we can understand why they really agreed or disagreed. So at the end, you are doing a factor analysis based on the the level of agreement or disagreement, and we get a kind of types of sorters. So I'm going to show you based on the 51 survey I did with 51 students. Okay. So the problem is that, as you see, that some statement is a little too long, so it'll just overflow the card. So I want to fix it. Another one is that even though I put that all the statement inside this computer screen, and some students just misplaced it. So at the end, I found out that, for example, 40 statements in total, they just sorted 39. I don't know where they placed one statement. So I want to fix it, right? So I consulted with the AI, and then asked that, what are the problems? So the AI found out, okay, text card overflows looks unpolished, and some sort of misplaced card statement. So it suggests it made some suggestions. Okay, here is what it did. Okay, make the text size flexible, and then also make this kind of closed area for the panel. So rather than card moving around, maybe you can, okay, I can show you here that you can have better understanding here. Okay, let me see. So it suggested something like, let me see. No, yeah, yeah, okay. Where's the one? Oh, here. No, it's cool. Yeah. So the AI, it has a lot of resources. So went to the internet and found out this one. Okay, do you see here? Okay, even though it's a very long statement, you do not have to spread it out. And also, you can hear, you can move it around, right? So that's good. And then also, it showed another one. Okay, this one, you are putting into that some closed box so you can move it around, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, okay, I think that this is a fortune. So I asked that ChatGPT, well, I subscribed to 6 or 7, many AIs, because when I consulted with one, it could not do the job. And then I just gave up and then subscribed to another one, and then just moved around from one to another. Okay. So, well, it just provides some starting point. The problem is that this is not what I want. Okay, so what I want is that something like this one here. Yeah, let me see here. Okay, here. Yeah, there. Yeah. Something like. Okay, yeah, this thing. This is one I made. So. Basically, here's agree, neutral, disagree, right? So these are 3 panels you saw, but you have to have another panel, and then you can just drag it down here, right? So here, okay. Do you see it? It's beautiful. So you can drag it and move it up. So this is the one I copied from the suggested one. Okay, here. Okay. So after doing it, then here agree, neutral, disagree, and you can click next, right? Then I have to sort the agree one, right? The neutral one and disagree one, they should be dimmed so that people would not touch it, right? They would not be confused. So they are doing this guy here, okay? So this one. After doing that, then all the cards here in agree just exhausted. Then you have to have next, click it, and go into disagree, and then doing it, done, and here, and then neutral. Okay, this is the ideal one. So I asked that AIs, based on the components I found, why don't you create this kind of one? So some AIs made some kind of progress a little while, but after that, it is getting worse. So what I did was I spent maybe 5 or 6 days, maybe 6 hours each day. Just when I run the program, it'll always issue some errors. So I copy the error and give the AI and ask the AI, okay, this is the error, why don't you fix it? So it is that making a little progress, and then still there is the error. You know, I did that 5 or 6 hours, or around a week. But always it failed. It seems to make a little progress, but always getting worse. So I realized that AI cannot do the job. So what I did was, originally I was a little lazy because I am not familiar with this kind of new code. So rather than for me to understand it, I wished that AI to figure out all those things and then do some wonderful magical job. But it could not. So what I ended up was that I had to go to the code of the original components and figure it out. And then I had to ask the AI specifically how those things should be combined, how the things should be changed. Then it could do the job. So without the specific guideline or how the AI should do, it could not do. Okay? But AI is then not useful? Not at all. So while you are doing it, you are giving some kind of code guideline, but you are making some kind of mistake, like comma or some of. But those things that AI figure it out very easily. Okay, so let me see here. Okay, so basically that I was successful. Okay, so if I'm doing this one. Without the AI, I think it'll take many months. Like original code I wrote, it took around 2 years. It is around 4,000 lines of code. When I wrote it without the AI, if you misplace one comma, then it will not run, right? So you have to sometimes spend a few hours or a few days to just locate the misplaced code, right? But now, AI can do these things within a second, right? So AI would be very helpful, but still human intelligence is needed to achieve the good job, okay? So I have some little bit of the understanding of AI, and then I want to apply that in my teaching in the classroom. So question is that, maybe that going back to here, that can I then teach the student this coding with AI? I think that it will be very hard unless they have some kind of basic understanding of code. Because I can have a basic understanding of traditional coding, that's why I can get help. But if the students who do not have any kind of basic understanding, how could they use the AI? It will be impossible. But some students may have some misconception. I like to do these things, and then why don't you give me the code? AI will give the code. But that's not the code they should pursue. So I'll give an example. Like if you want a house, you can go out and then find a house, right? Okay, this is a dream house. But this is not dream house. You cannot find the dream house in the real world, right? Yeah, you may like it. So how do you build your dream house? You are just looking at many different houses and try to find the best thing out of the houses, good houses, and then you need to build them. Same thing. Like if you are writing a good code, then you have to do the same thing, looking at all the good code and then select this one and that one, okay? So if you want to build a dream house, then you have the blueprint. And then based on the observation of many good houses. And then when you are building the dream house, you do not have to build from the scratch, right? Like I need the wall or shingles and then some deck. You do not have to build that window from the scratch. So what I would do is that just buying that window and then other things and just assemble them. Okay? So that's my philosophy in teaching Core 1100. Students, they do not have to just write a summary of the articles. They can get the summary from the AI, but they have to assemble in a new way. That will made a touch on the higher level Bloom's taxonomy. I know that you will all know, familiar with the Bloom's taxonomy. It has 6 different levels of cognitive thinking skills, and the lower level, there are 3 lower level cognitive thinking skills, and there are high level thing. So I want that my son to develop that higher level thinking skills. Okay, so I'm going to explain how they are related. So anyway, my 15 students, they did a literature review and then wrote a paper. They also did a survey and collect the raw data and analyze them using the AI. They used the chi-square and then Spearman's rank analysis, and then they did presentations yesterday. Okay. So basically that in the core 1100, they have two areas. One is the writing thing, okay? So if they are not learned in a wise way, they'll just do copy and paste. That's the, we as a teacher are very worrying about, right? Like it'll be have a detrimental effects of AI tools once to writing skills, right? That's what we worried about. But we are teaching them the smart way. I think actually it'll help them to develop their higher level thinking skills. So I'm going to explain how I did. So if you look at the Bloom's taxonomy, at the lower level, remember, understand, and apply. And the higher level, analyze, evaluate, and create. So I try to touch upon these two areas at the top. So literature review portion, that students get ideas based on what others have written, rather than reading many articles as we did, or they rely on the AI to generate the summaries. So look at this one. How many of you are familiar with Notebook LM? I'm using Notebook LM in my Core 1100 class. Raise your hand. Okay. Maybe if you have not used it, this is a really powerful tool. This is related to the RAG technology. Like AI is basically producing the output based on the trained data. But this RAG technology is that you are providing your own data and then ask that AI to process that given data. Okay, so you can put some data that are related to your own issues. So Notebook LM using this kind of RAG technology. Okay? So we went to the internet and then found the articles about the topic of their interest. So easily that you can collect 30 or 40 papers within the one class time, right? So I asked them, all the internet articles that they can collect only. So they go to the library, and I asked them to go to the Inland Library database, and then also go to the internet. So that we combined those two sources. And then I also asked the students that what's the difference when they are writing the reflection paper. I asked that the internet sources are as good as that library sources, or I asked that the difference in the reflection paper. So anyway, they collect the paper from the Inland Library and then the internet sources, and they dump them into Notebook LM. And this is what you can see. Maybe I can show you that actual Notebook LM. What is the Notebook LM? Yeah. So, for example, so you are going to here. So you are creating the different kind of notebook, and this is one of them. And then you can see all the articles on the one side. So basically, you are writing the questions some question, then they are going to summarize it. Do you see all the summary? Okay, this is the kind of literature review. But what I said to my son is that this is not your dream house. This is what the AI generates based on your articles, right? So this is a little different from your own dream house. So what you need to do is this one. I asked them, okay, here are all the summaries, and then you do not have to use all of them. Okay, think about your topic, and they select that only that the summaries that are related to your topic, okay? So that they are looking all over these things and evaluate them, okay? Whether this one is related to my focus or my topic. So that based on these things, they are collecting that the focal point, okay? And then, so this is the related Bloom's that evaluation step. What is the really important or not in relation to my need or my focus? And then based on that they are feeding these things into that notebook LM or GTP to re-summarize it and focusing on these things. Okay. So this is more related to their dream house. So they are re-summarizing it and then provide these kind of summaries. So next thing is that I asked them, okay, go to this one here. And if you click it, you can go to that way, how that notebook LM is summarized. This is summary, this is the original text based on which it is summarized. So I asked them to compare them. Why? Because the AI is not perfect, and students have to know what's the limitations, where they can create hallucination. AI can better and better, but always there will be some problem. So I like them to develop some kind of instinct where the AI can go wrong. So in the future, they have to check it, but they cannot check all the things, right? Like when we are writing the paper, we are not going through the entire paper. We are just going to that area where we open the error, right? Same thing. Students do not know at this point where that AI can make a mistake. So by doing these kind of things, they can develop some kind of instinct when they are using the AI next time, where they have to check, when they have to check, right? That's the first thing. And the second one is that they have to know that how well the AI can do that. So I asked them to write a reflection paper, and then many students say that AI did a really good job summarizing something they missed. So the reason is I asked them to summarize on their own and compare their version with the original AI version. Okay. And sometimes they say that the AI does not understand the nuances. So I want my student to understand its limitations and its advantages. So coming back to here. So that's why they went through this step. So after they clicking each summary, they can get the original text links, and I asked the student to make a summary of that original text and compare that their version and then the AI version. So, okay. So again, this step is related to the Bloom's taxonomy at the highest two levels. First, evaluate it and combine them to create a new one. Okay, so next step is that whether students can do the data analysis, numerical part. Because when we are doing the research, there are two parts, right? One is the textual analysis, another one is the numerical analysis. I know that American students are really have a fear for the numbers, so I just wonder whether AI can solve this kind of fear. Okay. So they did, I gave all the guidelines and they applied my instructions and they did. But I doubt that they understood all these things because they have to understand the statistical thing, like we use the chi-square and then also Spearman's rank correlation thing. unfortunately, students have a time. They do not understand what's the independent variable and dependent variable. They have a hard time. Also, they have a hard time understanding what is the ordinal data or interval data and nominal data. So, so that it'll be hard. So unless they have that kind of basic understanding, AI would be no help. But I think that after they master these basic concepts, they can do analysis far easier in comparison with the days when we use SPSS, R, or Python. Far easier. But these are the AI is far more user-friendly than the SPSS, R, or Python. You know, in old days, when I used Python, I spent more than half of time for installation. And then maybe that 40% of time just figuring out the coding thing. And the reason is that it's changing, like version 2, version 3, and then I have to remember the one thing, and then when it's changed to 3, then I spend maybe 1% of time just for data analysis. Okay, all those other things are used for preparation of that program. But now, AI, you can use that AI without any kind of those some problems. Okay. So my plan for future classes. So this is I have thought about for a long time. I'm not talking about some liberal arts area. I'm talking about that the social science area where we are focusing on the information. And as you know, the society is changing so rapidly, right? Like one time, the free trade is some ideal one. Now, we had to kind of look down on it. And all the information we get, all the papers or information we generate while playing the free trade, they are all obsolete, isn't it? So my thinking is that the society changes rapidly. So what was valid may no longer be so. So information generated in the past might help you understand the present, but it's not enough. So although also the information from literature review often does not address the issues you are personally interested in, right? They are just describing the general things like AI. The AI, if you are asking some questions, they are describing what other people did in general. Maybe it is just the average of what other people thought about. It's not about your own issues. So if you are just relying on the AI or relying on the like literature review, it's like admiring a wonderful house someone else built. We need to build our own house, one that is relevant to the present and to our specific situation. That's my philosophy. So I'm going to ask the student, I use that literature review, but that's just preparation to understand the current situation. To understand the current situation, they have to go out, collect the data, whether surveys or interviews. That's my goal in the future. So implication for the communication education, what kind of things we have to do? And then as you know that students in the communications are decreasing very rapidly. It's obvious because AI can do lots of things that AI communicators can do, right? So what kind of things that communication teachers can do? I think that we have to use the AI to not only produce the content, but test its impact. Most of the time, journalists, they are just writing the articles, believing that people would like it, right? We are generating the PR messages, we are creating ads, then believing they'll work out well. but we have not really tested all those things, whether it will have an impact or not. So I think in the future, communication students, they are not only good at producing good content, they have to make sure their contents are really well received by their audience. So I did some case study, as I said, that how the students are thinking about this AI, because I emphasize AI a lot. I just push them to use that more than they want, they like, right? So it has the two parts, and then basically, I can show you here. We have, we have a lot of time, right? So, what time we start? 12:30, right? Okay, so we have time. So I can show you there. So the first question is that how comfortable do you feel using AI tools for academic tasks such as writing, research, and studying? And second question is how concerned they are using the AI ethically. Third question is that, well, how often do you use AI tools? So, and then next one is to write down the old AI tools. And then to what extent do you believe your future career will be affected by AI technology? What is your agenda? And what is your current major? And your academic year? And do you believe the AI in writing helps you become a better thinker? So I want to know, right? And then do you believe the learning to use AI tool should be part of college education? That's what I want to know. Okay. So if they just answer this one here, colleague. Yes. So basically that they just sort these 40 statements and like agree, disagree, those things. And then, so based on that, I analyzed the first question. You saw that 10 questions in the first part, more traditional survey. And then I asked them how comfortable they are using the AI tools. So that around 30 and 65% of students felt that they are very comfortable or somewhat comfortable. So I think that our students, at least in my class and the communication students, are very much comfortable. So next question is then, how much concern they have using the AI, ethical concern they have while using the AI. So I think that it is well distributed. So some people have a lot of concern, some people a little concern, some are concerned. So mostly they have somewhat concern or more concern. And then how often they are using the AI. So around 15% of people are using the daily, and then at least weekly, 41%. So they are using it, but not every day. So next question is that number of participants using each AI tool. So ChatGPT is the most frequently used, Grammarly or some other things. And next one is the perceived impact of AI on future career. So I asked that how much their job would be vulnerable. And then 11% very extremely, and then the 20-30% very much. So the people have a little concern, but not extremely as much I thought they would. And the next gender distribution, so we have more females, so obviously we have more female sorters. Academic year, it is distributed at all the first year, second, senior year. And then believe that the AI is used in writing, enhance the thinking skills, whether AI is actually enhancing their thinking skills or not. Surprisingly, they say that here, somewhat agree and they strongly agree. So I think it is more people are positive than the negative side. And they believe that learning AI tools should be part of college education. So I asked that, we have to teach that AI in college classroom. Yeah. So around that 80% said they strongly agree or somewhat agree. Okay. So that I have not completed that analysis, but I thought relating some of the variables might be interesting. So I asked that these questions, whether that their comfort level has some impact on that their support of AI in college education. So as you see here, that this one means that they are most comfortable, this least comfortable, and then here is that how much they are supporting it. So if you look at the PQ1 here, if they are very comfortable, then they seem to support more. Do you see here that these people 4, they are the least comfortable, and then they are just less supportive of introducing that AI in the college classroom. But they are mostly agree that it should be introduced. Next one is that when they are uncomfortable using the AI, they have more ethical concerns. Yeah, it is obvious here that the people who are the most uncomfortable here, they say that they are more ethically concerned. So if they are using it a lot, they are less concerned. Okay. So next one is comfortable users and whether they are more worried about the job security or not. But actually, if they are using it more, then they seem to be less worried about the job security. So they know the limitations of AI. Okay. So this is the Q-study holistic approach. As I said that I come up with many statements about the different areas. So rather than asking questions, when we divide the questions, we are allocating the area. So for example, some of the statement about how we have to worry about the functional thing or practical thing. Like some of the statements, even though the AI is not good, perfect, but we have to adopt now. Some statements say that until we figure it out AI well, we have to delay the adoption thing. So it has a different kind of statements. And the next the statements are whether this AI is positive to the students or not. So some statements are that describing positive side, some statements the negative side. So another one is that some statements, we have to worry about the ethical thing. Other statement, no, the companies are adopting AI, so even though it might be some gray area in ethically, but we have to teach them. Maybe ethical standards are changing all the time, so even though it will be a problem, then we do not have to worry about too much, because the business is one thing that students with AI capabilities, so we have to be trained, those things. Like a pedagogical area. Like teachers are not ready, so we have to wait until that teachers are ready, or we have to implement it and then figure out how to fix it, those things. And then also I asked the students that AI is too important to wait. Students who value it should be willing to pay for access, even if it costs $20 a month. And then there are all the groups of students objected to it. So this is only consensus statement. Students all agree to each other. They do not want to pay the money. Okay, so this is some statement about the future of human beings and their identity. So how much we have to push that AI technology? Is there limitations or not? Those things, like when we are using the AI in the art area, then should we consult with it, even the art or something we thought it is a really some original ideas which that we thought the domain unique to human intelligence? So those questions. So at the end, people sorted, and then I did a factor analysis and found out the 3 types of sorters. So biggest group is the traditional academic purist. So this is somebody that the professor may like. So students, okay, it's good, but we have to be really worried about adopting it because ethical concerns. Next one is the programmatic embracers. This is the people who are just going and they're embracing for the practical reasons. And then there are other groups. This is principled pragmatist. Yeah, they are embracing it, but while they're a little worrying about things. So, so there are many people who think like most professors would do, and there are some students who would willingly adopt because ethical standards might be changing, or that to get a job they have to learn it. That's the social trend or something. So this is the 51 students, and most of people belong to the one of 3 groups. But I found out some interesting thing here. Like 10 people did not belong to any of these 3 groups. And among them, 9 people, among them 5 students are in my, I think that here, males, and then, in my class, okay? So 9 students among 51 did not belong to any of these 3 groups. And then 5 students did not came out of my class. So I thought that why they are so dominant. So maybe I have to go to these students and then analyze them further, maybe extract one more factor just for them, or I have to look at them and how they have changed after using the AI so heavily. So maybe if I found something, then I have to collect more data from the freshman students and then do another study. So again, that the first 3 things we can find out doing any kind of study. But Q study is useful to find out some kind of trend which are not obvious right now, but it can be a harbinger for the future. So that's why I'm doing this study, not just finding out something that obvious, right? But something I have never thought about. Okay, so again, that Bloom's taxonomy, we have all the 3 levels, and I think that most of education at college are focusing on these bottom 3. But with AI, I think there are many things that students would learn through these 3 areas would be obsolete. So we may have more time not covering this too much, and then we have find time to cover the top part. But I do not say that undervalue the bottom area, because as I said, that without firm understanding of the basic things, which we students learned through these 3 steps, that we cannot achieve that through we cannot achieve anything through the top level. Okay? But as I said, that if we use the AI, then we can save a lot of time while the training the students at the basic level. Then we can use the remainder time to train them in the higher level. That's my thinking here. So I aim to educate students so they can conduct research on current and specific issues rather than relying on general knowledge that AI can easily provide anytime. And then, but what is the challenge in the classroom? I found out while teaching the freshman students, overcoming students' short attention spans. That at the higher level, it requires that the more deep thinking, right? Like if you are touching that lower level, like understanding it, yeah, you can give the one concept, ask them to memorize it, right? You can use the flashcard or something. But if you are I showed you that they need to look at all the summaries and thinking about which one is related to your topic and why I have to tackle these things. It'll take not just 5 minutes, it'll take maybe 1 hour without thinking any other things. But if you look at the students that computer, what is happening? After 2 or 3 minutes, there is some kind of a messenger, the messages coming and interrupting their students. And then the students, they are just fumbling the cell phone and then trying to looking at it when there is 5 seconds some leisure time. So maybe we have to ban that student using the computer or that using the social media messenger or cell phone in the classroom or if possible on the campus. Otherwise, we cannot teach them at this high level thinking. Okay. And then another thing is that helping them engage in the high level abstract thinking. But I found out the students are so much visually oriented. So without getting really concrete things, they cannot think. But the abstract higher level thinking requires a lot of abstract thinking. There's nothing that you can describe, right? Like, for example, you cannot show the moon, right? You can show the point of the moon is a verbal thing, right? But students have been accustomed to all the PowerPoint or some visual thing and step-by-step thing. But all those things, the step-by-step thing, can be done now by the AI. There's no jobs for the AI, the step-by-step tasks. So I'm just a little worried about that. Unless they do not have long the attention spans, and then when they do not have any kind of abstract thinking skills, then it will be really hard to adapt to themselves in this AI time. That's my the worry. So, okay, thanks for your attention. Yeah.